Earning a high salary is actually the fastest way to go broke if you don't understand the hidden trap waiting for you the moment that direct deposit hits your account. You see people making six figures every single year who are still living paycheck to paycheck, terrified of an unexpected car repair or a medical bill. And it makes no sense on paper. You would think that more money equals more freedom, but for the majority of people, more money just equals more expensive problems. In this video, we are going to look at the invisible forces that keep high earners stuck in a cycle of being rich broke. We are going to talk about why your brain is basically programmed to spend every dollar you make and how the society around you is designed to keep you from ever actually building wealth. By the end of this, you'll see exactly where your money is leaking out and the specific steps you can take to plug those holes before you wake up 10 years from now with nothing but a pile of old receipts and a fancy car that's losing value every second. Imagine a guy named Mark. Mark worked really hard in college, landed a great job in tech or accounting, and now he makes $100,000 a year. To most people, Mark is rich, but if you look at Mark's bank account on the day before payday, he has about $400 left. He isn't buying gold chains or throwing parties on yachts. He's just living a normal life. He has a nice apartment in a good part of town because he felt he earned it. He drives a late model SUV because he needs something reliable for his commute. He eats out a few times a week because he's busy and tired after work. The problem is that Mark has fallen into the trap of Parkinson's law. This is a concept that says your expenses will always rise to meet your income. When Mark was making $40,000 a year, he lived in a tiny studio and ate ramen, and he was broke. Now that he makes double that, he's still broke. The only difference is that his broke looks a lot nicer than it used to. This is the first reason people stay broke. They treat their salary like a limit to be reached rather than a tool to be used. If they get a 5% raise, they immediately look for a 5% better lifestyle. They get a bigger data plan for their phone, they subscribe to 2 more streaming services, or they start buying the organic groceries instead of the generic ones. It feels like small changes, but it's actually a slow-motion disaster. Lifestyle creep is like a silent carbon monoxide leak in your finances. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but it's slowly killing your future. It starts the moment you get your first real job. You tell yourself that you deserve a little treat for all that hard work. Then that treat becomes a habit. Then that habit becomes a necessity. Think about your phone. 10 years ago, a phone was just a phone. Now, many people feel like they need the newest model every single year, costing over $1,000. Think about coffee. It used to be something you made at home for pennies. Now, it's a $6 daily ritual that people feel they can't live without. When you combine these tiny upgrades across every category of your life, your housing, your clothes, your food, your hobbies, you end up with a life that costs exactly what you earn. The dangerous part is that once you upgrade your life, it is incredibly painful to downgrade it. Once you get used to the high-speed internet, the leather seats, and the premium gym membership, losing them feels like a tragedy. You become a slave to your own paycheck because you have to keep earning that high salary just to maintain a life you don't even enjoy that much anymore. You aren't working for freedom. You're working to pay for the things you already bought. We live in a world that is obsessed with the appearance of wealth rather than actual wealth. Social media has made this 1,000 times worse. You scroll through your feed and see people you went to high school with posting photos from expensive dinners or vacations in Bali. You see influencers talking about hustle culture while standing in front of rented Ferraris. This creates a massive amount of psychological pressure. You feel like if you are making good money, you should have the things that successful people have. You feel embarrassed to drive a 10-year-old Toyota when your coworkers are all driving Teslas. You feel like you have to buy the expensive round of drinks at the bar to show everyone that you've made it. But here is the reality. True wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the money in the bank that isn't spent. It's the investments that are growing while you sleep. The person driving the brand new luxury SUV might have a $600 car payment and $0 in their savings account. They aren't wealthy. They are just high consumption. They are playing a game of pretend, and it's a game that keeps them trapped in a cubicle for 40 years. When you try to keep up with the Joneses, you have to remember that the Joneses are probably broke and stressed out of their minds. Banks love people with good salaries. If you make $80,000 a year, banks will crawl over broken glass to give you a credit card with a $20,000 limit. They will offer you low-interest personal loans and flexible financing on everything from furniture to toothbrushes. Most people see a credit limit as extra money they own. It's not. It's a weight around your neck. When you have a good salary, it's easy to justify a little bit of debt. You think, oh, I can pay this off next month, or it's only $50 a month in interest. But interest is the price you pay for being impatient. It is literally giving away your future labor to a billion-dollar bank because you wanted a new couch today instead of waiting 3 months to save up for it. When you carry debt, you aren't just paying for the item, you are paying a tax on your life. If you have a credit card balance at 20% interest, everything you buy with that card is 20% more expensive. That good salary doesn't go very far when you are paying a massive premium on every single thing you've ever bought in the past 5 years. One thing people forget is that as your salary goes up, the government takes a bigger bite. If you get a $10,000 raise, you don't actually get $10,000. After federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security and Medicare, you might only see $6,000 or $7,000 of that, but most people have already spent the full $10,000 in their heads. Then you have inflation. The cost of everything, eggs, gas, rent, insurance, is going up. If your salary stays the same, you are actually getting a pay cut every year. Even if you get a small raise, it often just barely covers the increase in the cost of living. To actually get ahead, you have to outrun both the tax man and inflation, which is impossible if you are spending every dime you take home. People with good salaries often feel rich because the number on their pay stub is big. But wealth isn't about the number on the stub. It's about the purchasing power of what's left after the world has taken its share. If you aren't paying attention to the real value of your money, you will always wonder where it all went. The truth is, our brains weren't built for modern finance. For most of human history, if you found food, you had to eat it immediately or it would rot. We are hardwired to consume resources as soon as we get them. Saving for a retirement 40 years away feels unnatural to our lizard brains. We also get a hit of dopamine every time we buy something new. That new car smell or the feeling of unboxing a new gadget creates a literal chemical high in your brain. But, like any drug, the high wears off quickly. A week later, the new car is just your car. The new phone is just your phone. So, you look for the next thing to buy to get that feeling back. This cycle is what keeps people broke. They are chasing a feeling that can't be bought, and they are using their hard-earned salary to do it. So, how do you stop being rich broke? It starts with a total shift in how you view money. You have to stop seeing money as something to be spent and start seeing it as an employee. Every dollar you save and invest is like a little soldier that goes out and works for you. Eventually, you want your money soldiers to be making enough money to pay for your life, so you don't have to work anymore. The first step is the most boring, but the most important. You need to know where the money is going. You don't need a complex spreadsheet, but you need to see the truth. Most people are shocked when they realize they spend $500 a month on subscriptions they don't use, or $800 on takeout food. The second step is to pay yourself first. Most people pay the landlord, the car company, the grocery store, and the electric company, and then they try to save whatever is left. The problem is, nothing is ever left. Instead, you should move a percentage of your paycheck into a savings or investment account the second you get paid. If you never see the money in your checking account, you won't spend it. You will naturally adjust your life to fit what's left. Third, you have to stop caring what other people think. This is the hardest part. You have to be okay with driving an older car or living in a smaller house than your salary says you should. You have to realize that the people you are trying to impress are too busy worrying about their own bills to care about yours. True financial freedom isn't about having a high salary. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you spend. If you earn $200,000 and spend $200,000, you are poor. If you earn $50,000 and spend $40,000, you are on your way to being wealthy. The goal is to maximize that gap. That gap is your freedom. That gap is your security.